All right, what's up, good people? It's your boys, Beards of War, back again. Got myself the Chocolate Avenger, Thick Nick Fury, the Conductor of Chaos. Hey, Captain Jack, and we got a wild head episode for you guys this week. Scorched Earth and Fat Broker Rambo will be back on Thursday, man. We're gonna divide and conquer, so they got a good show idea for you guys on Thursday. Make sure you come back and check it out. But right now, man, we're gonna finish some business. We have the season finale of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, episode season one, episode six, called the Morrow. Uh, Not a whole lot went on in this particular episode, obviously following a very pivotal episode previous to episode five. But you got to deal with the morning after, right? And this is kind of where we go with what happens next, right? So we start off. We have Sir Dunk and we have Sir Lionel, and they're kind of he's kind of getting mended up. Like Dunk is kind of getting mended up, and him and Lionel having a discussion about, hey man, why don't you come with me and we'll go do this and kind of kind of keep the brotherhood going, kind of thing. Dunk's a little down in the dumps because he feels like uh, Baratheon. What am I right? Is his name Baratheon?
Lionel Baratheon.
Right, Baratheon died because of him, so he's having some
Oh,
guilt.
Baylor.
Um,
Baylor
Baylor,
Targaryen.
yeah, there you go, Baylor. So he has some guilt behind that, and so he's having a little trouble in reconciling what is actually going on. They have this quote unquote doctor working on him. He's like, man, I can't do anything for this dude. He's dying, right? So he's like,
Maester.
hey, get out of here, man. You know what you're talking about. Let's give this guy some a little bit of liquor. He'll be fine. And so they have kind of like a heartfelt, I would say, discussion where Lionel kind of tells him, I'll love you like a brother, hate you like a brother, right? And I think it kind of he wants Sir Duncan to understand that the people who actually fought for him, he's like he named it. He said Lionel, Raymond, the two guys, the two knights that died. Those we fought for you. We had something to lose. We had skin in the game. He was like, the Targaryen didn't, right? He was like he's fighting against people designed to protect him, so he really didn't have much at stake. But you feel worse for him than you do for the people who really put it all on the line. So I don't know what you want to say about that interaction there, Jack.
I mean, it's a lot of realness, right? Like you can still sense all the hatred for the Targaryens. They're still very much seen as invaders. They're a different, almost species of people, right? Like there's that whole thing, their interconnectedness with dragons, just like people hate them. Like there's
Right.
hatred there. And so, friggin' Baratheon, Lionel Baratheon, he's all pissed off, right? Like, hey man, we had stuff to lose.
Hmm.
Like he came in, he's fighting against the Kingsguard. Like the Kingsguard's not gonna kill him.
Right.
He
As
he
far
had
as
no reason to think that his brother was gonna kill him. Not a spoiler anymore. His brother killed him.
right.
So yeah, I mean, just kind of crazy, but also like, hey man, like we stood and fought for you no matter what the repercussions were gonna be. And he had no repercussions. So don't feel sorry for that prince who went and died.
Right. Because he said it, which was a great saying. He said the gods don't favor a fraud. And Doug is still struggling with that because he's like, well, then why is he favoring me? Because he feels like he's a fraud. He's like, like his whole becoming a knight thing. Now he's questioning pretty much everything up to this point, right? But he still wants to, honor Baylor's death, so he goes to the burning, and that's where we run into Baylor's son, who tells him like, my father died in my armor. He said most times, it's the son that dies in their father's armor. So that does kind of lead to, okay, well, how did we get to that? Like, why was he fighting in your armor? That kind of thing, right? Like, why weren't you there? Like, why weren't you, one of the knights that fought? Like, what is the story there? So I know you might want to touch a little bit on that.
Yeah, the only thing I was thinking, I've been kind of like twiggling around with this, and what was that? And maybe the concept was just that as the heir apparent to the throne, he just literally didn't bring any armor. Right? Like maybe bro
Right,
was like, I'm not fighting at the tourney because I'm the heir apparent. And you know how it is with the heir apparent, they usually protecting him, right? So
right.
maybe I could see that would be the logic behind it, but I do
Makes
think
sense.
we're gonna see I do think we're sowing seeds here, and there's gonna be more stuff with his son. To be really honest, I don't actually remember that character's name.
Right,
Um,
yeah. He's
and I
been a
feel
side
like
character
this
to
was
this
our
point.
first episode. I feel like this was our first episode of even seeing that character.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with him. I'll be honest. Like,
Yeah.
he's one of those, like I said, like those background characters that may come up obviously because he's the son of, Baylor. So he probably is going to have a much bigger role in the upcoming seasons. But I will say this: Raymond, Raymond is attached to Duncan there, so there are people that are kind of more on the side of Dunk now after kind of seeing him stand up and take this on. So they're kind of like some people are rallying behind him, some people are upset, obviously because of what happened to Baylor as a result of this, and Duncan is still feeling very guilty about him like dying for him, and that's what he keeps alluding to, like he died for me, like I could have just given up an arm and a foot, and what is that compared to the life of a prince, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, but there are a lot of people who are still, like you said, kind of that have his back to understand the situation that he was in. Raymond is one of them, and of course you see Raymond with the nice young lady that Duncan had a little chit chat with, I think in like the first episode or something like that,
Yeah,
and
first episode.
she's pregnant. And it's like Raymond's like, yeah, man, having a baby. I'm like, whoa, dude, paternity. And I don't know, when paternity became a thing, but there's probably a lot of diluted bloodlines going on during that period of time. But he seems happy, man. Listen, if your bro's happy, man, you just let it go. You don't say nothing. Just, hey, man, you know what? I'm happy for you. Hope you have a beautiful kid with probably blonde hair, even though you're both, a redhead and a brunette. But that's neither here nor there. But Raymond is uh talking about his cousin being upset that he's on the losing end of this, right? So he's got bragging rights. And it's like he's another one that wants to form a relationship with Duncan and kind of, hey man, what's next for you? Like what are you doing? And Duncan's just kind of like pulling away. Like he's pulling away from everybody. He kind of wants to leave it all behind because of that feeling of guilt. So it didn't really give him, I think, the feeling he was thinking of becoming a knight. So he's already starting out on, the dark side of it. Like, wow, this is already going a horrible way. And as a knight, you're gonna have to figure out how to bounce back from that. And he hasn't figured that out yet.
Yeah, I think that there is a lot of there's a lot of excitement amongst the non-ruling house upperclassmen, I'll call them, right? So like
Right.
all of these lesser lords and lesser knights, there's a lot of excitement on Targaryens being brought down a peg, right? Like they have been brought down a notch. They
Hmm.
lost their heir apparent. They're having inner house feuding, and this is right after the Blackfire Rebellion. Like they just came off of having problems, and now they're having more problems
Right. That
internal
are
to the
internal.
family. So I
Right.
think I think everybody is really happy to see the crown having all of this internal drama and internal loss, right? Because I think there's been a lot of loss from the small folk and even from the lesser lords, right? So it's really interesting to see this all playing out. I kind of got the feeling that Raymond Fossaway was like, what's next, man? He's like so excited. He just got his knighthood, he's got his girl, he's like he's ready to take the world, right? And like
Hmm.
he's one of those characters in the books, right? He is he's one of the like we'll call more noble in the sense not of noble men, right? But like actual like truth of character and like just like a real honor bound person. So it'll be cool to see how they develop him as we go through the series. I don't know about you, man. Like 6 episodes not enough. We need more.
Right. Right.
We need
Exactly.
more. They've
Like,
done a great job with this story. Let's develop it.
and they only gave it 30 minutes. Like that last episode was like 30 minutes, and I'm like, wow, okay. And then and just like that, it's done. But it leaves you wanting more, right? That's the key. So now we have Maekar Targaryen, who is, strangely enough, you want to say something? Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Just one more thing. So this red woman that Raymond marries, she is a new character that they are, I'll say, interpreting from the books. So
Okay.
in the books, there's a different character. Her name isn't Rowan, it's Rohan, and she ends up becoming Tywin Lannister's grandmother. So
Oh, interesting.
yeah. So the interesting ties into the Game of Thrones and into that whole series. So, possibly Rowan Fossaway maybe we're gonna see some interesting stuff there. Maybe that is gonna be who ends up becoming Tywin's grandmother. And we start to see kind of some of that Lannister shenanigans coming through here. Um,
Okay.
but we're seeing the backstory of Tywin Lannister's family. So really interesting. We'll see what happens next.
Yeah,
But they've
everything's
taken
got a
it to new
beginning.
character. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you got to start somewhere, right? So we have Makar who calls for Duncan. He wants to, have a word. And he actually, believe it or not, offers Duncan to take Aegon as a squire with the condition of you stay at Summerhall. You stay here. We'll train you up to be a better knight because you still have a lot to learn. Egg likes you. Like he understands that. He does have hope with Egg, which is why I think he kind of welcomed that. He's like, well, because my other kids, I need to send this kid away. He's sending his other kid to the free cities. Hey man, you need to go learn something, get knocked down a peg or two. So his last hope right now is Egg, and of course Duncan already feels like, man, look, everything I touch like it's hard. It's like almost like Spider-Man, right? That the little Peter Parker thing where everyone I love gets hurt or whatever. So he's kind of and that push and pull about, well, what's the right thing to do? I kind of want to just leave everything lie where it is, and it's kind of leading to the way of Egg wants to get out. Egg already, like I said, he likes Dunk. He likes him as a knight. His father, Makar, recognizes that, and he recognizes that Egg has a little animosity toward his brother because he, he want to stab that dude with a fillet knife. Like Egg was about to fillet him, and he goes into the bedroom, and his brother's laying there, and his dad's just like sitting there, like I was waiting for you. Like he just sat there, like I'm not even surprised. He wasn't even surprised. He wasn't angry. He just came up to him to put his hands on his shoulder, like I understand. Like he knew, like Egg had this feeling of animosity in him towards his brother, and it was completely understandable to him.
I think what's really interesting about this entire episode, not just that scene, but this entire episode, we're seeing Targaryens showing emotional depth and like respect
Hmm.
and just character levels that we would have never expected to find in a Targaryen. We Game of Thrones is right after Mad King Ares, I think.
Okay.
And like we just kind of have this impression, especially with Khaleesi's brother, you know, everybody's just a hot-headed idiot, right? Like that's kind of the impression that we've gotten is that the Targaryens are just kind of jumped up. They had dragons, they're spoiled little rich kids, and they all have problems. And I gotta tell you, like from Baelor to even now, especially Makar, like these are some really emotionally intelligent people that we're seeing. And I would have never expected this from Targaryens. Like it's just not there. Like even Khaleesi, even Rhaenyra, right? She showed a lot of emotion in her character and in her frustration with what was going on. And we're not seeing that here. They're really developing some really logical people. And I mean, I think with Baelor, like we kind of talked about it before we started, Baelor's only half Targaryen. His
Right.
mother was from Dorne, and so and was a Tyrell, yeah, Tyrell, and so you know, there's maybe why there's a little bit less insanity there because there's a little bit less incest, to just be
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I'm telling you, that bleach blonde didn't go to his head. But I will say, man, losing Baylor was a big deal. Like they didn't just lose they lost like that dude had like seven accolades to his name, dude. That dude was
Hand of the
like
king, protector
like
of the
the Nuggets
realm.
losing Joker in Game Seven. Like they lost a lot with that dude. But then we go to the Sir Arlen flashbacks. The Sir Arlen flashbacks are probably the best part of the series for me. Like I love this dude, even though he's already gone. Right, he's buried in episode one, but every time you see him on screen, man, you know you're gonna get some gold, man. And they talk about the story about the penny tree, right? So that's basically his last name, or Sir Arlen of Penny Tree, and he explained it as everyone hammering a penny into the tree, and then when they returned and removed the penny, he said after a while there was no place to put another penny. Like it was just kind of showed you the lifestyle of the night, and you basically like that's it. Like you go on and you kind of pass on, And as he's telling the story, he just like lays against a tree with the open eye death. This is the second time we've seen it in this show, and it's like, is he dead? And Duncan's sitting there like, sir, sir,
He's
and then he starts
sobbing.
sobbing, right? And he's like, yeah, so that's how it happened. He's like,
A
a
knight
night
always
never
finishes his
finishes.
tale.
A night always finishes the story, and it was just like, oh man, Arlen is just, oh, he's just fantastic, man. And it just makes you understand more why Duncan probably loved this dude. He probably had a rough relationship. 'Cause they did. They talked about how he would hit him if he didn't do the right thing, but you could tell he had genuine love for the guy, and the same way in reverse. Arlen really I think loved Duncan and kind of really took care of him. Even in the odd ways that he couldn't show it, but man, I'm telling you, Arlen was something else, man.
Yeah, and we talked about fraud at the beginning of the episode, right?
Hmm.
So he talks about, and there's like foreshadowing. It's like, who's the fraud? Who's the real fraud, right? And we can tell that Duncan is really feeling all of this fraud. Like, was I ever really a knight? Like, and in this moment where Sir Arlen's leaning against the tree and he's like falling asleep on him, he's like, why didn't you ever make me a knight? And
Yeah.
we don't get an answer to that. And I
Hmm.
think unanswered questions, they're just good for film, but I think it's something that could be set up in
It's
in
meaningful.
season 2. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
We'll
meaningful.
see. So
Yeah, absolutely, man.
so yeah, so
So we have the Fossaway farewell, right? So we show and Raymond actually shows up with what is it, Sweet Tooth, the
something
horse
like
that
that.
Sweet Chuck, I don't know, Sweet something, the white horse he gave up in the beginning. He's like, you bought me a horse. I'm like, is this like buying somebody a Ferrari? Like, I don't know the comparison here, but Duncan kind of says, no, I don't deserve this, and man, the horse should stay with you. So that's kind of like they had that kind of intense relationship. Like we don't really know what that means. But Raymond definitely has grown fond of Dunk, and, like I said, I think Dunk does know that he owes a lot to Raymond, so he leaves him with the horse. And he's like, "Oh, are you sure?" Like, yeah. So he just they kind of leave with that, and then all of a sudden you see Egg show up, right? He's like, oh yes. My dad said I could be your squire. And Dunk's like, okay, all right, cool. This is what we're gonna do. You're gonna listen to me. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get on Thunder unless I put you on him. And he's just like, they're riding off to the sunset, and he's like, yeah. So Dunk talking about the Seven Kingdoms, and then all of a sudden, Egg is like, there's nine. Like, what? Like, what do you mean nine? Hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. We see that the little joke about, the Nine Kingdoms, and we'll see how that ends up playing out. He shows him, there really are these nine distinct regions in the Seven Kingdoms, which are nine kingdoms. But I think we also find out there's the First Men and the Andals. And so if we take the First Men and the Andals and then we add it to the Seven Kingdoms, there is nine. But I
Right.
don't know. We'll see how it ends up working out. The one thing that I did think was interesting was that, because I was trying to figure out why every scene's intentional. Every scene's intentional, and I'm like, why did we have this Fossaway goodbye? And in my mind, I'm like, okay, so we find out he's not going to go with Baratheon, right? So he's like, hey, you're gonna take Sir Lionel up on his thing. And he's like, no, I'm not going there. He's like, what I'm really gonna do is I'm gonna do what I should have done a long time ago, which was turn away and run. And so we understand that, like, he had no intention of going and continuing to mess around with the princes. But then the prince shows up and is like, hey, I'm not done with you.
Right.
So after that, we move on and we go and we see the Targaryens, and everybody's leaving, right? It's time for a new set. It's time for us to go find a new backdrop for the next season. And so all the Targaryens are leaving, and we see Maekar, and Maekar's kind of riding up and down the line, and we see the jerk son who's got all the facial scars from the trial of the seven, and we see,
Yeah.
his other brother, and we
Somebody's
don't
missing.
see Egg.
Hmm.
And we find out Egg has ran off on his own, and he's not told mom and dad where he's going. So That will kick us off into season 2, I'm sure, which will be the hunt for Duncan Egg, of
Yeah,
course.
and it's not going to go well because it didn't go well the first time. So, hopefully,
It's like a
Duncan can explain
recycle.
this away. He said it was fun.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really curious. It's really interesting. I love the first season. I really feel like it certainly could have been more than 6 episodes. I'm excited to see season 2. I don't think have we seen when season 2 is coming out yet? I don't think we've
Oh,
seen
I
that.
haven't. I haven't seen anything about season two, whether it's been filmed already or not. I'm hoping it'll take like 3 years.
All right, well, I'm checking right now. So we do know that we have, is it May or June for House of the Dragon? Okay, so Knights of the Seven Kingdom has been officially renewed by HBO for a second season. Production's already underway in Belfast, and we're expecting to see it in 2027. So it's coming back. Everybody's coming back. It's going to be awesome. We just hope it's a little bit longer. Come on, HBO. Listen
Yeah,
to our
right.
cries. I don't necessarily need longer episodes. I just want more of them. I actually really like the fast-paced and 30-minute episode. Like
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think the generation of people watching this is the attention span. To be just really blunt, like I had time for this. And and one of the questions that my wife and I discuss when we're looking at a new show is like, how long are these episodes?
Right. How
And
much time do I need to commit to this?
yeah, I mean, some of these are doing like some of these shows. I'm looking at like Stranger Things and different series. They're doing an hour. They're doing an hour and a half per episode.
Right.
Like, bro, that's called a movie. That is called a movie. I don't get it. So I like this 30-minute episode that we're doing. It's not 22 minutes. It's not a TV 30-minute. This is like a proper 30-minute episode, and it's just the right amount of content and just
Right.
the right amount of storyline. And I think give us 10 episodes, give us 8 episodes. Don't give me 6 episodes again, please. Please give me more.
I agree. I agree with that. But like I said, every episode had meaning. We go with like it's like kind of leaves us off with, okay, what's gonna happen when they find out where Egg is, and then he's off with Duncan. Um, I think
Yeah.
it'll be good. I think it'll be good for season two.
Yeah, so House of the Dragon is coming out in June. They're gonna do 8 episodes. So stand by. We'll be reviewing it then when it shows up. We'll come in and dig into each one. Should be really fun. But we got Beards of War rocking it here. And we're gonna come back Thursday. We've got wow, everything okay over there, brother?
Dude, my bad. I'm having a coughing fit here.
All good, all good. Well, we'll have Fat Broken Rambo and Scorched Earth
Scorcher
back on Thursday for their episode. What are they? Do you know what they're queuing up?
on Paradise.
Paradise. All right. So if you want to check it out, I think it aired yesterday. Paradise aired yesterday. We've got 3 episodes was in the first drop. So we'll be taking a look at those. Stand by for that though. We'll see you on Thursday for the next episode.
Yep, yep. Thick
All
Fury
right.
out here.
That's Captain Jack out here.